Everybody, this is John, and welcome to the free video. So probably the number one question I'm getting right now is, are we in a bubble? Is the stock market gone too far? And by the way, when you get those kind of questions, especially when you get a lot of them, it's typically just the opposite. Okay, when I start hearing things like, it's different this time, I borrowed money against my house to put in the stock market, that's when you look for a top. So I'm kind of looking at this as mid 1998 right now in relation to that bubble. But that doesn't mean that the market can't pull back, and it sucks when you're, fully invested here and you have a normal pullback to here and you got a bunch of options, and it can really hurt your account. And so one of the questions that'll come up and just kind of say like, all right, what kind of hedging can we do, and things like that too. So one of the things, besides the obvious, you can, buy a bunch of puts, short the futures and things like that. Which is tough because then you could have so much hedged on that you don't make any money when it goes up, right? So what are a couple things you can do? One of the things I like to do is I'll go out to say, well, let's go out to December. So December in the Qs, an expected move here is like $6. So we're at 154.50. So a $6 move would take us to, if I can do the math right, about 148. Give or take. No, 148. So closer to 149. So let's use that. So let's just say, okay, so let's come in here and just say on the put side and buy a butterfly, if I can find it. There it is. So I'm going to do, let's try 100 contract trade. Okay, and I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna do a butterfly here and see how this works. Well, what you're doing here is we've got, our maximum loss on this trade is $300. But if the market does roll over and sell off hard into December and pin nil that level, then the reward is off the chain, right? And so that's a kind of a nice hedge to do in this kind of environment. And depending on the platform you're using, I mean, something like butterflies can be fairly complicated. What's nice in some, you can just set it up and say, okay, I'm just going to do a long put butterfly and just hit go, and then it just automatically sits it there. And you're just like, okay, I want to do it a little bit wider, and you get your debit, and it just makes it a lot easier. So in terms of a platform for doing this, if you guys are interested in that and still want to take advantage of, it's a free offer. With Tastyworks, which was the platform I just showed you there, the commissions on this typically are going to be about 80% lower than what you're paying now, so that's huge. And then secondly, it's a lot more intuitive interface for some of those more complicated hedging strategies, some of those more complicated strategies where you're having to put on a bunch of different legs, which, frankly, in some platforms are impossible to do. So it's super easy, intuitive to use. The commissions are a lot lower, and then you don't get charged any commission to get out of the trade, which is amazing. So what we're doing for a limited time is that if you open up a new Tastyworks account with our link, and you have to fund with at least $2,000. Now that's not a cost. All that is you're transferring money from a bank or another broker into that account. So it's still your money. Okay, so that's not a cost. And there's no account fees. They don't charge you for data or anything like that. And to get to our link, you go to simplertrading.com/platform, and then with that, you will get a $500 credit to our store. And you can use that credit for some of our prior classes and different things like that. So just some cool stuff like that. So, so that's what that is. So if you guys have any questions on that, let us know. Otherwise, you can go to simplertrading.com/platform, go through this process so you're tagged with our information. And once that's done, once you fund the account, just let us know, and we'll send you a coupon for $500, and you'll be off and running. All right, you guys have a great evening, and we'll see you at the next update.